Hello, hello, welcome in. I'm going to be doing a bit of Reiki healing for the collective. It's been a while, it's been a few weeks. I'm still deciding what energies to work on, but I feel like we're going to be bouncing around between different energetics. Probably a lot of emotional healing with everything that we've been going through. So let me know, how has your week been? How has energy been for you? I know it's been heavy. It's been a lot of chaos. Hey Jackie, how's it going? Welcome in, welcome in. I'm going to start with a bit of pulling. So any heavy, dense energy you're holding on to, feel free to let go of it. If you want to write it into the chat, write I release. Hey Haley, how's it going? Hey Coco. Let me know if the music is okay. It's been a tiring week. It's on the mend still, but I still feel like I need to do this. I miss doing Reiki. Yeah, the attunements are a lot. They change things, they change perspective, and to do that, it kind of breaks through a whole lot of things that you didn't know were holding you back. Hey Spellbound, how's it going? I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there. Energy's been all over the place. It's been heavy. There's a lot going on stateside. I don't have much advice. I've been battling with that myself to figure out what's going on. Happy Canada Day to those celebrating. I know Canada's going through it too. It's rough. It's been heavy. But use this moment just to let go of anything. It's been about 2 years, 2.5 years. Today was a good day. It was a heavy day. There's a lot of work. I'm doing shamanic training and it's been very heavy. A lot of energy. I'm glad you're all here. Thank you all for hanging out. Yeah, it's a huge shift whenever people come in. If you are new to Reiki, check out my introduction video in my bio. I have it pinned at the top. There's a lot going on. I haven't done this in what, 2 weeks? It's been heavy. Cherie, how are you feeling, Cherie? How's your hand? Yep. It's been a while, Anne. I've been going through it. Hanging in there. If you're new here, just hang out, feel the energy. Let go of anything that's holding you back. A lot of people ask what to do. Oh no, the fireworks. This is what I don't like about these holidays. I know it's Canada Day in Canada, then 4th of July is on Monday, and like the fireworks are just so triggering. I'm like, is there not a better way to celebrate? Hello. Yes, a lot of people are going to come in. They're going to wonder how can you stay grounded when everything feels like chaos right now. And yes, everything is chaos. But truthfully, everything has always been chaos. We live on a rock floating around the sun. Things are wrong. People are taking the actions. I'm taking the actions to fight back. This is how I work. I work in the energetics. We move the energetics. We change reality. That's what I believe. That's always what I believed in. And I'm going to continue to do that. So while you're here in my room, let go of anything that's holding you back. The third one. We're the third rock. We're not even the first rock. We're not even that special. We're 3 rocks away from the sun. So this music, hopefully you don't hear the police sirens in the background, but this music is on my YouTube, and I've mixed it with an audio called brown noise. Ah, that's so cute. The ocean terrifies me, but I love the ocean. Me as a water sign. But yes, I'm trying not to rant too much because I know it's very heavy and people are like, how can I be grounded at a time like this? If you don't ground yourself, if you don't find grounding in something in this reality, you're going to be incredibly unhinged. Find something that brings you happiness. Another spiritual person that I follow has been talking about the fear narrative, the anger narrative, the just vicious rage. And yes, it's good to let it out, and if you want, let it out here. Say what you're letting go of, say what makes you angry. But be productive with that rage, be concise with that rage. What actions can we take to move forward? Oh, it hurts. My hands have gone through it, but I've set up protection energies for me and for you. What does it mean to ground yourself? Kind of go in a meditative state. Be one with yourself. Don't let the constant flow of thoughts or TikTok videos consume you. Be in the present moment. Focus on your breath. Focus on something. That way you're not constantly ruminating. Be present and be proactive with your thoughts. That one's tough, being open to receiving. I haven't done it, but somewhere in my link tree, there is an app called Balanced, and there's a meditation to help accepting. That's something I'm still working with and working on. It is a journey. Accepting compliments, accepting gifts, accepting that you're accepted. Those here that have been triggered by fear, those that are feeling the anger narrative, use this moment, even if it's 1 hour of just being peaceful or a few moments of being peaceful. Bring yourself to center. Take a deep breath in. Hold it at the top. Slowly let go. Exhale. And as you exhale, let go of any of the tension you've been feeling, any of the heavy energy you've been holding on to, any of that shadow. If that darkness, anything that no longer serves you, allow that to dissipate. Allow that to transmute. And do that as many times as you need. Soon I'm going to switch over to crystal healing. Yeah, I've been thinking about doing ASMR, but not the typical one, just more like what I'm doing, but if I could find a way to lower my voice instead of projecting it all the time, I think that would help. All right. I'm going to clear the energy of the room. Take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale. Feel the energy as you breathe in. Feel the cool air filled with light as you inhale. Next, as you exhale, feel the warm energy. Feel warm light flowing around you. There's a shielding technique that's exactly like this, where you would inhale through the nose and slowly exhale. As you do, imagine the air becoming a shield of light around you. This energy can help alleviate minor symptoms. Good luck, Cherry. I'm sending you light. How do you breathe into your heart chakra? I'm not certain. I'm not sure what's causing the contractions. I would check with a doctor first to see what might be causing it. I would say maybe it's the way that you might be sitting. Sit down, roll your shoulders back, and just take a deep breath in, but slowly. Jan, I have not heard of that. Calling more energy, calling more light. As I wave my hands, imagine a wave of golden energy passing over you, healing you, lifting any shadows, lifting any negativity. I've always done this. I started doing this last year, maybe last August, because I had a goal of shifting the narrative. And there have been studies where if enough people get into a meditative state, they begin to change the reality around them, make it more peaceful, make it more calm. And I know everything might not feel that way for all of us. But if you just use this moment just to be at peace. I'm gonna now use a bit of black tourmaline. I haven't used crystals in a while. Let's see how this goes. My hands are like, what are you doing? Yes, if there's someone you want to send Reiki to that's not here in this room, imagine light surrounding you, like an ocean of light. And then imagine that light being shared and sent to the person that you want. Hold on, I want to check the comments. Someone said something. Did someone change my name? I know I missed it. Kernedy. Love it. No, it's fine. I love, I think once I was called Brandon. What was the other name? It's funny when I get new names. Adam had called me something, but I forgot what it was. Names? Names are real. Names are real. Oh. yeah, someone called me Brandon. Nicknames are fun. Yes, this is black tourmaline. So I'm using this for grounding. We're working on the root chakra right now. So that's located just at the base of the spine. This controls your connection to source, to the earth. It helps you feel grounded and shielded, more stable within your own being. My energy has shifted. I've been going through a lot. So I haven't done Reiki in like 2 or 3 weeks now. I missed the question, but I normally keep my crystals near or on top of Selenite to constantly recharge them. Yeah, the Reiki affects everyone differently, and that's why I do the lives. That way I make sure whoever signs up for like my one-on-ones or my group settings, they know what energy they're stepping into. Just because, like, if you feel this now, once we go into one-on-one, it can be much heavier and much more dense. For me, Reiki heals me. It's the real world that's been affecting me, my connection to Reiki. So as a healer, the way it works with Reiki is it travels through me, through my body, and then I redirect that energy wherever it needs to go. And so it looks like I'm doing it through the screen, but I'm imagining like an ocean of light kind of surrounding the earth. And wherever you are, if you like catch me live, or if you catch one of my replays, that light then connects with you, and that way you subconsciously connect with the energy. Yep, there's a lot of figuring out. We're all different. We all operate at different points of consciousness. Some of us trust our bodies more to tap into this energy. Some of us are more skeptical, and we're still learning how to use the human body as a scientific tool. That's why some of us connect to it a lot easier. Someone asked, why are they crying? I have created a very energetic space where if there's any old energy that you've been holding on to, any heavy energy, this is a safe space to process those emotions and to let go of them. And so that's why when a lot of people see my videos or they jump into my live, they feel that. And I've even had friends, I will just call them and they will just start crying. They're like, you've got to stop that. Maybe it's a water sign trait, who knows? But it's a good thing, a release of emotions. I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna do a bit more pulling again. So if there's any emotions you're holding on to, any heavy emotions, feel free to use this time to write into the chat. Release, I let go of. Take deep breaths and slowly exhale. I am a Scorpio. Scorpio Sun, Leo Moon, Aquarius Rising. And it's chaos in my mind. And that's why I started doing Reiki, to try and find some calm in that chaos. If you want to write your signs as well into the chat, your big 3, feel free. So when I take the energy, I keep a white candle. I have 2 candles going. One at my altar and then just one at my side that I can send the energy into. So I send it into a white flame to get transmuted. As I do shamanic healings, this is something I do as well. Because in shamanism, there's no good energy or bad energy. There's just maybe a buildup, too much energy. Take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale. As you exhale, let go of any of that heavy energy, any of that dense energy. The pain is difficult to go through, but I think for me, I have to go through different trials. That way I'm more understanding of everyone else's journey. Even if it's something I haven't experienced firsthand, I would have experienced something closer to it. Protection is important when doing healings. There's a lot of different things I do beforehand. Because I've been training in shamanism, there's something called the Moonite key rites, and so there are 5 bands of power that protect me. There's something called, there's an 8th chakra, and we tap into that energy and create a shield of light around us before we do healings. And then also I open shamanic space before I go live, so I call upon the south, the west, the east, the north, the earth, and the sky to kind of gather around the ceremony space that I've created. That way they're protecting all of us. I also wear darker colors because it's sort of a shielding energy. The darker colors absorb all the energy in a way. So any traumas I might be experiencing doesn't get transferred to you, and any traumas you're experiencing doesn't get transferred to me. Yes, I think things like addictions are definitely tied to darker emotions, to darker energies. There are a lot of levels that this world operates in. And with everything happening in the world, I had to remind myself I operate in the energetic world. And the energetic world is fast, is quick, but for it to affect the physical world, it takes more time. Take a deep breath in, slowly exhale. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, if I'm not live, you could always check out my previously recorded material on YouTube. Reiki is timeless. It travels through time and space and goes where it needs to. And there's a ton of content up there. And even on this page, it's packed with like hours and hours of just Reiki, just to bring you back to center. I still feel heaviness. If you want, take another deep breath in. Hold it at the top. Slowly exhale. Let go of any of the heavy energy. We're going to do some emotional healing. I did the black tourmaline for grounding, but everything else I'm going to use is going to be for healing and strength. And send you all a bit of light. Wherever you feel any discomfort, that's where energy is most likely being released, and it's most likely tied to one of the 7 main chakras. So if it's the neck, that could be throat chakra. It could also just be a buildup of tension from stress. So I'll be sending you emotional healing. There's a lot of upending. Everything feels a bit chaotic. Trauma rewrites the brain. Trauma affects the brain very seriously. It rewires it. I'm going to be using some rose quartz. This affects the heart chakra the most, so if you want, resting a hand on the heart space and imagining light flowing through the heart. So trauma makes you fearful. Trauma creates triggers. So basically what trauma is an event happens, we react emotionally, physically, and depending how it affected us, the brain is like, I didn't like this. That's not good if anything like this ever happens again. And so anytime a similar situation happens, you become triggered. The best example I have is abandonment. A lot of us have felt abandoned by other people, by family, even as children, by romantic partners. And so when we encounter any form of abandonment again, even the smallest amount of abandonment, it re-triggers us and we go right back to that first occurrence or the first few occurrences that have created that pattern. And that's what trauma is. And so it affects the body, affects the brain. And it is a lot of work to rewrite those narratives. There was a video I saw that someone, the way they faced their trauma, well, in therapy and psychiatry, you rewrite the brain by continuously facing that fear over and over again, but you have to feel safe as you do it. I saw one person confront in a video rejection in many ways, but they would do it in a comedy way. They would go to like a burger place, have a burger, have a drink, and normally get like a free refill with the drink. But he was like, I want a burger refill. And the guy's like, no, we don't do that here. We don't just give you a brand new burger. And so he would do a bunch of tasks like that for like 30 days. I think halfway through there was one person, he rang their doorbell. He's like, I'd like to plant these flowers in your backyard. And the guy was like, no, I don't want you to do that. And so he figured out to just, in his case, he was like, but why? Why don't you want me to plant flowers in the backyard? And the guy's like, I've got a dog. They're going to mess it up. Go to this person. This person will let you plant flowers in the yard. So he went there and that person was excited for flowers. And I think that's the moral of the story, where it's like, yes, there's rejection, but it's not because you did anything wrong. It's not that you don't deserve the thing that you were seeking. It's just that it wasn't the right person. But dealing with trauma, yes, EFT tapping, EMDR, seeing a therapist to help you go through a lot of different techniques to help. That's something that helped me on that journey. I'm not saying go out and face all your rejections on your own. I just wanted to tell that story. Find those that can help you, that are going to be there for you as you go through those things, as you experience it, that can make you feel safe in what you're feeling. And so that's the thing. You're not being rejected because of something you did. It's just not the right place. It's not the right person. It's not the right thing. You belong somewhere better. Exactly. If someone was like, I would like to plant flowers, the right people would be like, yes, absolutely. Free flowers? Sure. And you're going to plant it for me? Great. And if we see that kind of message in all the things that we're facing, like in the moment when we get triggered and we're hurt, yeah, it hurts. It takes time to heal. We still get re-triggered, but I think remembering that there's a reason that didn't work out. But in the moment, if you have trauma and you've been re-triggered by something, it's a lot of self-care. It's not running around looking for the next person or the next thing to kind of fix things, but sitting there with the emotions, seeking out therapy, seeking out self-care. So I see this a lot, people. I don't know. There's always a mix. There are people that are in relationships and they hate being in the relationship, but they're afraid to be alone. And then those that are single, but not seeing the opportunity and freedom that there is in that. Right now, there's opportunity in both places. One to either grow with a person, or one to literally run free and do all the things you want to do and explore the world and become who you want to become. Being stuck in the middle it's a whole thing. It is a whole thing. For the person asking about why are you still single, create space for someone to enter in your life. Do the things you like doing. Recognize within yourself what are the things you like doing, the places you like going. But also create space so that when the right person shows up, they're there to experience those things with you. So what I'm saying is, no matter what, just authentically be you. That too. When I read cards, maybe I could tell, but someone asked if someone will come back to them, and that's difficult for me as a person to kind of reflect on. I'm going to do a bit of pulling, lifting any heavy energy. So if anyone's holding on to anything, use this time to let go of that as well. You have to speak with that person. If you want them back, go tell them you want them back. Tell them you want to be with them. But also, if you're not together, why are you not together? What was the event that happened that pushed you away? Do you want that person back, or do you want the emotions that you felt when you were with that person? Do you want that person back, or do you want to be who you were, who you could be when you were with someone else? Those are things I want you to reflect on. Yep, finding that connection where you align energetically, if that makes sense. It's like if you think of magnets, two magnets of the same polarity will connect to each other. They will attract each other. People say opposites attract, and they can, but at core level, you should have things that connect. There should be core values that relate. Everything else can be an adventure to explore. But the core values of what you want and what the other person wants in a relationship has to be the same thing. And the truth is, sometimes we fall out of that energetic field with them. People grow, and it takes very special people to grow with the different seasons of who we become. Knowing that who we are now is not the same person we will be in the future. Even those of you that have entered the room, no matter what time you jumped into this room with me, you're not the same person that you were when you began. And we have to honor that we're not always the same people, and the people that we're with are not always going to be the same person. I cannot whisper. I am talking over an air conditioner and my music, and I would like to do ASMR, but I'm not doing ASMR right now. All those exclamation points too. Very angry. Very, very angry. Yes, so I'm using general energy, water energy, to help with anything you might be feeling. Anywhere you need healing, Reiki knows where it needs to go. That is true. These are visual ASMR triggers. The voice I can't control. My voice has been silenced for so long I refuse to lower it. That makes sense. My thoughts on CERN. I don't know. Everyone seems to be freaking out about it. I remember when it first started in 2012, I think, or 2011, or was it 2010? Everyone was losing it. They're like, it might create a black hole and it might consume the Earth, and this thing, that thing, the other. It doesn't matter what it does, is my question. Everything I've experienced the last 2 years, I felt incredibly powerless. I've lost a lot of myself. I've lost a lot of the people around me. The most important thing is that you're strong enough to surf the waves of whatever does come, because this world keeps spinning, things keep changing. Nothing is stable, so you have to find that stability within yourself to handle the waves of whatever's thrown at you. That's what I think. Alright, I'm going to send you a bit of healing light. The crown goes into the Reiki energy. You see, it's real. You can't tell me it's not real. So yeah, even as I scroll through TikTok, I've seen a lot of... There's a good place to share your voice. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of fear. But I think direct, concise action is the most important thing to be looking for. I'm going to be using Howlite. We're working on emotions. Wherever you need emotional healing, this is where you're going to feel it. Okay, I'm going to try and whisper. Someone said to whisper. Can you still hear me if I talk this lowly? Feels weird to me. Okay. So I could try to whisper. I get loud. I'm from Brooklyn. That's the thing. CERN is, I'm going to throw more big words and I don't know what they mean. It's a Hadron Collider where they're running experiments on. They're trying to test and see what the first energies look like when the universe began. And it's a lot of power that they're playing with. So technically they can potentially create something dangerous. It hasn't been fired up in a long time. We don't know about whispering in Brooklyn. In Brooklyn, it's about you just be yourself. You make sure your words are heard. Right now I'm focusing just on emotional healing. Thank you, Haley. Aquarian Queen, I see you. Yes. There's no quiet. See? Everyone in New York knows. There's no quiet. You have to talk over everything. You have to talk over like the garbage truck every 5 seconds. This is a crystal known as Howlite. Focusing it to do a bit of emotional healing. Find the peace in the chaos. Find the stillness in it. That's kind of what held me back from doing lives as well. I've been going through my own stuff, but also how can I keep bringing calm and peace to others when the world is so chaotic? But the truth is, we all need this. You need to fill your own cup up before we could handle and tackle the world. You have to feel safe within your own body, within your own energy field. You have to learn about your energy field and how powerful you are. If this is the jumping off point, let this be the jumping off point. Anywhere you feel physical pain, imagine an orb of light or a blanket of light around you, and imagine it healing that location. If you're able to rest your hand on the location, do that as well. Yeah, might not be doing any more pulling for the rest of the night, just energy restoration. That's funny, I haven't been using any Selenite. It's an interesting night. Yep. That's my goal, just to make everyone sleep. A lot of people just join here just to fall asleep. No whispering in Louisiana. See, now I can visit there. Now I know. Now I know. I need to go to the loud places where I can be loud. Yes, those suffering with insomnia, there are two things. First, I have to advertise myself first. I do have a healing Reiki, insomnia Reiki up on my YouTube. And then also, if you look up something called brown noise, it's playing in the background right now, but it's very soothing. Here, I'm gonna switch audio just so you could hear it really quickly. So this audio is supposed to help with focus, with concentration, but also to help with insomnia. If you close your eyes and you listen to it, you'll hear how whatever ruminating thoughts there were, it's not there anymore, hopefully. It sounds like rain, but it's very smooth. It's not too harsh. Alright, I'm gonna put the music back on. The piano stuff playing is music that I made in GarageBand. That isn't on my YouTube page. Should I leave it? Let me know if I should just switch over to brown noise to help people sleep. I'm gonna use some dark Moonstone. Yes. Yeah, I feel called to it. Just to switch it up a little bit. Because we're reaching that point where in like maybe 15 minutes I might sign off. So there's a good place to kind of... So you're getting brown noise and my air conditioner. I'm not sorry. Black Moonstone. Yeah, I kind of want the brown noise for myself as well. Yeah, this stuff helps with studying too. It's like a whole bunch that it can help with. So I use brown noise because it helps with insomnia and sleeping. It helps with concentration and studying. If you have ADHD, it'll help as well. It's very calm, soothing. It's very smooth energy. Yeah, they're different. So it's like white noise, but it's not as sharp as white noise is. It doesn't really matter. For me, I sense which hand is better at absorbing energy or using the energy. So I just sometimes it'll bounce back and forth between whichever hands you're holding it in. Just trust your intuition to see wherever it'll take you for the healing. These were the 3 main emotional crystals I had. I'll do a golden healer after. No, I forget. It's a cognac painting. It's a woman drinking from a glass, and it's sunlight coming out of it. If you want, take a deep breath in, slowly exhale. Be present in this moment. Let any heavy thoughts fade away, dissipate. Wherever you are, just feeling safe and connected. If I do the live longer than like an hour to an hour and a half, it does. I think we did like a 2-hour live one time, and I was very tired at the end of that. Yeah, if you're hearing ringing and if it feels painful, I'd recommend just maybe taking a break from the energy. Getting some water, definitely drinking water. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you search brown noise on YouTube, after my lives, because I've opened Shamanic space, I closed that space, so I let go of any entities that I called in, any angels or guides. So there's 2 forms of static playing right now. One is my air conditioner, and the other one is brown noise, which is supposed to help with insomnia. This one is black moonstone. All of my crystals I've gotten from Cherie Mystic. Cherie's one of my moderators, so please follow Cherie. Please follow Chronically Ghosted as well. Yeah, we find ourselves scrolling through TikTok to try and escape, and these days there's a lot of information being thrown at us. I think it's good to just take a moment to breathe. If you want to call in and open your own sacred space, this is going to be important for anything that you're doing. Things I started doing is, I would say, like angels existing in my highest and greatest good, or if there's any deity you work with, anything like that, I would say that I call in any angels, guides, ancestors, deities to come protect me, to shield me, to help guide me with whatever I'm doing. As I'm doing a healing for someone, as I'm doing a meditation. For anyone going through physical pain, or if there's a specific place you want healing, imagine a blanket of light surrounding you, a blanket of light connecting to those spaces that you need healing. And then after you're done, whatever you're doing with the sacred space, it's good to release them, saying any guides or angels or deities that came to help me, thank you. I release you in gratitude. That way you close the space, you let go of them. They're not just hanging out all day. If you want to keep them around all day, you can. Just at night, close space. Just to thank them for any protections or guidance they might have given you. And there's psychology to it as well. If you think you're going to be protected, you're going to feel a bit more sturdy in your reality. This one is black moonstone, but I am going to switch to a golden healer. To open space, any angels or guides or deities existing in my highest and greatest good, please come and help protect me, shield me, guide me as I do, and kind of state your intention, what you want their help with. And that's why affirmations are important as well, because you're stating to the universe exactly what you want, exactly what you need. Someone that said their entire body's in pain. Same exact thing. Imagine an orb of light surrounding you, connecting directly to the places that you're feeling pain. Yes, help protect me, help guide my steps. Imagine an orb of light around you as a shield, as a healing mechanism. It's not about what you study or where you figure out how to use your magic, but use your imagination to feel shielded, to feel connected, to feel at peace. Yes, you could ask them to send healing to others as well. And if there's something, so like ancestors, angels you could work with. And if you don't believe in those things, whatever you do believe in. I feel like most of us are here believe in something. And sending healing. Even right now, if you want to send healing to anyone that's not in the room with us, imagine light being sent to them. Imagine kind of like light just raining down on them. Ghost pie, I do believe in it. Tacos are delicious. I'm not I am not enlightened. I could tap into higher source, higher being, but me as a human, I'm a whole mess. But I know how to bring healing to others. Yep. And that's the same thing. There's a lot of healers out here. And we all tap into different energies in different ways. And the same thing for like past spiritual leaders, past guides, people like Buddha or even Jesus. They tapped into a certain energy and brought messages of love, messages of healing. It's just that over the time, those messages got lost, misconstrued. When it should just be simplicity. Do right by yourself, make sure you take care of yourself. When that cup is filled up, then help those next to you. But you have to focus on you first. I'm sorry, slightly disturbed. There's a lot. I'm hoping this helps at least bring some emotional stability. I know once we could find some mental clarity, it helps us step better wherever we head. Call in your guides, like I said, to come help you, to help guide you. I'm trying to think if I have any other crystals I wanted to use. Everything's dark. Love this audio. My brain just shuts off, which is difficult for me to do. My brain is just constantly going. Chameleon. I have Tiger's Eye. I could use some Tiger's Eye. And I could use some Firestone if that helps. Bismuth. I have too many crystals now. I have to find the bismuth. It's gotten lost. Maybe another 5 to 10 minutes. I'll see how the energy feels. I'll see how everyone feels. It's on the list. No, I have it. I have it. I don't know if I have any agate. It's okay to fall asleep. The music will probably make you fall asleep. So this is for strength. power, inner determination. The solar plexus is where this power center should be affecting the most, and so that's just above the belly button. Yes, Cherie, if you get a nice piece of carnelian, let me know. I think that's one that I've been trying to... Sacral chakra is always the most difficult one for me. Yes, I could do... Give me a few more minutes with the tiger's eye, and then I could bring out some selenite. Normally I use a ton of selenite. Tonight I forgot. I'm glad that it helps. I use obsidian or black tourmaline, or any red or black crystals will help. How can you call your spirit guides? For me, I go through meditations. I do it through shamanic journeying. Honestly, I just say, I create little signs. I'm like, guides exist in my highest and greatest good. Send me any messages to let me know I'm on the right path. And you could ask for them to show you something like a purple lobster or something interesting like that. And just give yourself time until you notice those things. Sometimes you'll hear music playing and the lyrics have a message for you. But for me, I do it through shamanic journeying to connect with them directly, and that hopefully in the future that's something I can offer. So this is for strength, but I am going to start switching it out. I'm going to use some selenite to kind of cleanse through the room. I'll use the selenite Cherie sent me. It's a giant block of selenite. Got a ton of crystals on it. So this will charge through all the chakras. Any and all the chakras. Hold on, someone wanted carnelian for sacral. I think there's some at the end of this. Yep, life is a journey. We could be 100 years old, still learning something new. Yeah, Cherie sent me this one. She's like, stop using that tiny piece of selenite that I found somewhere. Yeah, this thing's been charging for like 3 weeks, just sitting on my desk. I've been doing sound healings on it, meditations on it. Selenite and obsidian are two of my favorites. Playing singing bowls are good. I'm just gonna hold it out because it is heavy. Check out Cherie Mystic on Tuesday nights at 7:30. She does a crystal live sale. $7:30 Eastern. No, they're held down by wire, so they can move. This is healing everything. Every chakra, completely cleansing it, because these crystals are strapped to selenite. They're just like super powerful. Yep, like QVC, but on here. But you'd have to claim, it's kind of like QVC, but also kind of like an auction. So you'd have to say, exactly what you want before everyone else says what they want. This can help, it just takes time for it to fully transmute everything. This is like, it cleanses it. It will give you the strength to get through the next week or so. So during my lives like this, I use the energy of water to heal, which takes a little bit longer. And then in my one-on-one sessions, I use fire to transmute energy, and it's a lot quicker, it's a lot more intense. Still the same amount of time of processing, but it's a much deeper trance that you go into. It's more meditation based, and it's a way for me teaching you how to tap into that energy. Cherie Mystic. For me, I imagine the energy that I'm sending as waves of like water, whereas when we do the one-on-one, we imagine it as fire. But yeah, after this, I'm probably going to be signing out. Yes, Cherie just commented. So if anyone's looking for crystals, Cherie is the one to check out on Tuesdays at 7:30 Eastern. Yes, the wire is going through the crystal. Because the healing, when I say it's... So water takes longer to transmute through things, whereas fire burns through it almost instantly. Yes. I'm trying to learn more shamanic healing, and so hopefully in the next 2 months I can bring more of that stuff here. 10 more minutes. You shouldn't feel dizzy. It could be a lot of energy. Yeah, Jackie, add Cherie and message her. She might be able to help out, even though if Tuesdays don't work. If it's a good dizzy, I would say it's okay. But if it feels like confusing, maybe not. So the shamanic journeys that I've been doing is without plant medicine. The lineage that I'm training in doesn't use like ayahuasca and things like that. We use shamanic drumming or shamanic rattling. And so there are 3 places that exist within spirit world that we go to. And spirit world isn't a place outside of yourself. Spirit world exists within you. And so we go to lower world to find power animals to help us navigate our healing, to help transmute any heavy energy. Also to find shadows, old traumas, and bring them up, and then spending like 2 weeks with those traumas to help them heal. Middle world is sort of like a little bit like astral projecting, where you imagine yourself visually being here in this reality, and you could do healings on yourself, you could do healings on your home, you could talk with the angels or the spirit of the house. And then upper world is where you connect to spirit guides and the Akashic records, as well as ancestors. I'm using, for the beads these are obsidian. So I'm constantly sending grounding energy no matter what. And so there's a lot of more intricate journeys that happen. I do them myself, but I haven't been greenlit to do them on other people yet. The only one I could do so far is something called a Shamanic Illumination. And that's where we do kind of like a trauma healing, but we work through the different chakras to see where it's being stored. then using rattles to kind of take that heavy energy out and transmute it. So hopefully in a week I could get that posted up on my link tree. Shadow meditations are a lot. It's a lot of energy. It isn't for everybody. So everything is linked in my link tree. I'm doing group sessions again this month, and then one-on-ones are also listed there. Well, shadow meditations are like the going to lower world, collecting collecting soul fragments and healing through them. There's a lot of people that will trigger our shadows. That's why it's important to heal them, to do shadow work, to figure out what our triggers are, and how to heal from it. I should sell this super crystal. I should. I think a lot of people would buy it. Yes, I'm gonna start winding down. Check out Cherie Mystic. She does a ton of crystal sales. That's who sends me. That's where I get all my crystals from. I Reiki charge the crystals that she sells as well. That way, by the time you get them, they're fully cleansed, fully powered up. Alright, everyone. I think I'm going to start winding down, start signing out. I hope this helps. Yeah, check out my YouTube. A ton of these lives go up there. Once I get time, I'll probably post this one. Sunlight is good. I use Selenite. I use Reiki. If you come to my lives, keep your crystals out because that'll charge them as well. My most expensive crystal. I don't use it on lives, but I have a piece of ruby and I have a piece of emerald that I use from time to time. Yes, I will be signing out. Thank you all for the likes. Thank you for the follows. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Thank you for any gifts that help support me right now to do this so I can do more lives. And I hope to see all of you soon. Alright, everyone. Have a good night. Talk to you soon. You got this.